This podcast segment is for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the segment does not imply an endorsement of them or an entity they represent. It also does not reflect the view of no.expert and any of its affiliated companies or brands. If you have any questions on the disclaimer, please reach out to connect.no.expert@gmail.com.
Today I am here with Mr. Can I call you Mr.?
Why are you gay?
Oh, so good. Classic.
Oh my god, that was a
He just blew up.
yeah. He did really
fame.
try to like be nice,
Yeah.
but he just didn't know how to phrase the question. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
Why are you gay?
Who's the That's good. That's good. Well, welcome to the show, Danu. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. We've been trying to do this for a long time.
We have.
But good that you got me now because I've lost some weight.
You look great. You're super tall. And thank you for so much because you're constantly recording like tons of your episodes and shows on your other channel, which you do quite frequently.
No, that's where I work.
That's
That's my job.
that's your job.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And you're here in Sri Lanka. So just FYI, people compare you.
I have never been anywhere else.
Never, ever.
Means it's not that I have like come to Sri Lanka to do this. I am here.
You are a Sri Lankan.
I'm not like you traveling between the US and here. None of that.
So you do your show.
Yes.
You do your show. People compare you as the Karan Johar of Sri Lanka. And you don't like that.
No, because, telling you the honest truth, he's terrible at what he does. Right? And he's on Ozempic. And I'm not. And the other thing is, I think I'm more talented than he is.
Absolutely. There's that for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm taller. But I would definitely like to have a lineup of people that he has like had encounters with. Like Siddharth Malhotra.
Yeah. So, I mean, we are India's neighbor. There's a massive film industry there. Why is it that Sri Lanka does more cheap remakes of Indian films and not actually bring in more Indian? I know recently, in the recent past, we've had like some like Tamil Nadu stars come down to Sri Lankan film, but like, why is it that we are not embracing that side of us? That Indian component and actually having them be a part of this industry as well. Why is it so separate, you think?
I'll actually, funny that you asked me this because I was actually speaking about this recently.
Yeah. And you can pull the mic closer to you if you want, just so
you
you're...
can't hear me.
There, perfect.
No, because, I've also acted a few movies, okay?
You are an actor, that's right.
Thanks. I may have not played the starring roles because they want everyone to like run behind a bush and all, and I was bigger than the bush. But anyway, in terms of what I feel, before 83, cinema halls were owned by a lot of Tamils here. And even if you take the films, like Malini Fonseca has acted with like Sivaji Ganesan, and like they have sung duets on Gaul Road. They've had moments where we have always found a way to work with the Indian film industry. Considering the fact that we're a smaller country next to them, and together making films, it just grows the infrastructure bigger. And at the same time, we had a stronger media presence than India. Like our radio was at a good standard. Our English was really good. They appreciated SLBC in India, and there were radios that were sold just because you could hear SLBC in India. So I think with the 83 riots and all those idiots who let the 83 riots happen, we lost great things in life. We let people burn some of the films. We'll never get that back. When you lose documentary or historical things or things that are valued to the future generation, you are doing something so disrespectful and really unwanted. Because fight as much as you want, because the people who really want to stay together will never be in that fight. So I think if the 83 has not happened, and if the film corporation has not gone under the government at that time, we would have had a stronger, more built colorful film industry. And I feel like we have so much of talent to get there.
Yeah.
Our infrastructure is good, talent is great, they can sing, dance, act, you name it.
Yeah.
It's just that putting us in a commercial film looks cheap because we don't have the infrastructure to back a commercial film.
Right.
You know, Ranjan Ramanayaka is one of the biggest stars of our country.
Yeah.
He could be made to look like Shah Rukh Khan in his movies, where he turns, the way. But the difference is we don't have the infrastructure to make him look so fabulous. So it just looks like a joke at times because we are just making things at a lower budget.
Yeah.
So we are not making the maximum out of his stardom.
Yeah.
Whatever said and done, sometimes to be a star, you don't need to be a talented person. Star is someone who is loved.
Right. Just going back to what you said about like burning the film reels and the documentaries, like why was that done? Why specifically? Do you know any reason why they burned these films?
I really don't know, but I was told that the cinema halls were mostly owned by the Tamils.
Right. Are they still owned by mostly Tamils or?
No, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Things have really changed. Back in the days, they used to have over 200 cinema halls across the island.
Wow.
And that's a lot. And
Yeah.
that's amazing. Because that means more reasons for people to come in and watch films and watch our own productions. Right now, we are competing for screen times with like Hindi films that are done so beautifully, Tamil films that are loved so much, Hollywood films, animation, and then you have this one singular film somehow trying to survive. Sinhala or Tamil is not the issue. A Sri Lankan film trying to survive in a cinema hall is sad.
Right.
Whereas we have to give priority. But the problem is we are not having people coming to watch it.
Right.
In the recent past, I have to say, Sri Lankans have appreciated Sri Lankan films. Like, you know, from the very, you know, those cute little love stories to, like, I think also our industry has grown with people like Shanudri, Dinakshi, Sheshadri. They're actually like from people like Hemal to Roshan. They've all created something new in the industry. They've made it more modern because we are comparing things now to Netflix and we are comparing things to Hollywood. So
Yeah.
what do you expect?
Right. I mean, I do think there's a good thing to comparing it to that side because then it just pushes us to actually have something of that standard, right? Well, you've been on set, multiple films, like you said, you've acted, you had a lot of roles there. What did you feel? And you've also you've had the dream of continuing this acting career,
Yes.
as well as on top of hosting one of the most popular shows in Sri Lanka. There's somebody in India saying you are the Danu Inasatambe of India.
Oh.
So they're not just saying it the other way around.
I know. I know.
Yeah. With being on set, what do you think you've noticed that we as a film industry can improve on set?
You know, the first film that I acted in was such an honor for me to be a part of. One, for the story. And when I was casted for that film, I was seen on stage doing a role, followed by the producer seeing me on screen. And then she reached out, and it took her like a month or so to figure out who in the world I was. And that particular film was civilly based on what the plot was. It was about HIV and the fact that I lived with it and I didn't know about it. And when I come to know, I didn't know what is the difference between HIV and AIDS. It's a very powerful story, but how much can you commercialize it? It's a bit hard to commercialize that storyline. But the experience that I got there, when the film was done, I thought to myself, I'm really proud that I was a part of this film.
Yeah.
With limited resources, with, you know, we didn't have caravans to sit in. We were just sitting and burning in the sun. Like, in midst of all of that, still what they put out was of good quality. This is in 2012. Coming back to the film that we did during the Aragalaya time,
Wait, tell me about this film.
it was Yalu Yaluvi.
Okay.
If you take the storyline, it's like any cute love story, two very beautiful people falling in love. We don't fall into that. I was the beautiful person. I was just one of those other things that they put in the corner there. But everything about that film was beautiful. Dilshara shot it. Everything, like, even if they ever had to cry in the toilet, I would love to live in that toilet. It was so beautifully lit.
Right.
So if you don't want to learn something, you just want to sit, hold hands with your special someone, eat popcorns, and watch a love story and going, oh, that's perfect. And like, you know, everyone was beautiful. The girl who acted in it, I think there isn't a shot that you can make her look ugly. It's
Yeah.
really unfair.
That's true. That's true. I mean, like cinema is also not just about just beautiful stories, but it's also just about an experience.
Yeah,
Like
and
you
also
go to the
taking
movies.
people into that world where, like, I don't think Pilar would have ever looked that nice. They had Kottu at Pilar, and I was like, what is this Pilar? It was a beautiful version of Pilar.
Yeah.
You know, so I like films like that. Sometimes you don't want to think so much. You just
Fair
want to sit, watch, and be like,
Yeah, Sri Lanka, like a lot of its narratives is about love stories, right? Like it's a lot about love triangles, loving, not
Yeah.
loving.
crying.
Yeah, it's very much like a Hallmark movie, but
Yes.
on steroids. Like we have a lot of love stories.
And when we cry, we really cry.
yeah,
There's
Yeah.
no difference between the crying for a death or crying for a breakup. It's like literally they've died when they
Yeah.
break up.
I like the idea of film in Sri Lanka, even in this region. I recently saw a clip, and I can't tell you the name of the actor. This was in India, and the film premiered, and this audience watched it, and the cast came on, and the cast had a pretty amazing lineup, and this one particular actor played the villain. And this villain, he played the villain so convincingly that one of the women in the audience stepped out of her seat and attacked him because it blurred the lines of reality for her. So I believe that, you know, film is such a powerful tool.
And that's a compliment.
Yeah, exactly. That's a compliment. Like getting hammered by somebody because they thought you're the actual villain that I just saw on screen can blur the lines of reality, and then it can be used as a powerful tool to shape people's minds of what can come, what the future can look like, the current present, to help opens people's eyes. Because not everybody sees things through the same lens. So you have to like change the lens of how they see problems in the world or how the future comes. Sorry, go ahead.
I think that power is there here in terms of teleseries and not so much in terms of cinema.
Yeah, because teledramas are
It's an everyday
everyday
part
thing.
of their lives.
Right.
Characters become, like, I did a role on this teledrama called Danu, and I played the role of Seth.
Okay.
Like, even when a cop stops me, he will say, Seth Madhya. Because in that drama, I was always referred to as Seth Madhya because I played this, I had like the purchasing power. So automatically I can look like a stray dog and still they'll call me Seth Madhya. It's because that character has gone in so much. So I did, I think, 125 episodes of it. So, yeah, so then you get a chance to really live like, oh, Seth Madhya seems more interesting than Danu. So, yeah, because I never wanted to play it under my name. Initially, the script was written with my name. And I didn't want to, because in case Seth becomes a cow or like a terrible person, I didn't want them to hate me.
Do you think it's wise for us to keep feeding into the love stories? Or do you think it's time for us to actually start to shape different narratives that would help the masses and the youth think a little bit differently?
I'm all for it. Because I feel like if you take Netflix, I have never searched for a love story for me to watch. I've searched for stories that makes me want to live that life for a minute. See, I love based on true stories because I put myself there and I just really go to town with it, and I want to do research based on it. It makes it so much more interesting to know that realistic stories could be made into great stories that could be told. And yes, you might have to soften the edges, you might have to change a few things so that the story is deliverable, but I think it's very, very important. A film that is to come out is about the murder case of that girl who was sliced and put inside a hand luggage, like the suitcase, and left at PETA.
Yes.
Yeah, about
I remember that.
yeah. So that film was shot,
Okay.
and it's coming out this year. Bimal Jayakody plays the lead. Absolutely amazing. Now that story, that's all we know. So this, I can't tell you the story, but I will tell you, the way the script was written makes you wonder, because we only know what was reported.
Yeah.
We only know that the body was found, the head was never found.
Yeah.
But there's something behind it.
Yeah.
And that is what the story is about.
Is it based on like reality, or
It's
was it
based on that
inspired?
reality.
Okay.
and I was happy to be a part of that film. And I was a suitcase. No, I wasn't. But it's amazing to know that you could take a story that is one very current, very much today, and it also gives a message to understand that there's an extreme side to love,
Yeah.
and that is what was portrayed. And I think that's all what we know is basic,
Yeah.
but there's more to it.
Right.
And so this was the director's interpretation
Right.
of that story, and it's coming out this year, and
Yeah.
I'm sure people would love to see that.
Yeah, it sounds like a Dahmer type of vibe.
Correct.
Yeah, very interesting. So, you grew up in Jaffna.
Mm.
You are originally a Jaffna boy.
Yalpanam.
That's great. That's good. But you moved here to Colombo.
Yeah.
What have you seen? Obviously, growing up somewhere else and then coming into Colombo, you see two different types of worlds or societies. What do you like about Colombo?
Opportunities.
Mm. I'm not baiting you. I'm not.
Colombo is a very tricky place to be.
Yeah.
You don't know when you offend someone. You don't know when you're doing something wrong.
Mm.
But you also find some very nice, genuine people. And that's it. I have one thing, I know my reality.
Mm.
Nobody just sent me an invite because they love me or they care for me. No. They sent me an invite because of the job that I do.
Mm.
If I don't have this job, I'm just another person here, and nobody will even bother looking at me twice. So I know that reality. I'll be stupid if I don't know it. Because today I'm fortunate to work for, can I mention?
Yeah, dude, it's completely open to.
Fortunate to work for High TV, and they're very kind and they've given me the freedom. But that gives me a leverage to stand on.
Mm-hmm.
So if I tend to forget that I'm just untouchable, it's not the case. But a lot of people have actually taken time in Colombo to remind me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the hell is that? There are people who have sent petitions against me saying, where did that come from?
Like what?
That, like, why is he like, I've never said I'm high society. I'm actually quite lost. For the longest time, I traveled in a trishaw. Before that, it was a bus. When I got promoted to trishaw, I was like, wow. And then I went into cabs. That was wow. Then I moved to a car, my own.
Nice.
But it was all a process. And I'm never going to say, oh, I have like this fancy car. No. No way. It's so much more nicer to say that what you actually have. I have like an SUV now. I bought it for a very cheap price, and I'm trying to sell it for a higher price. But it looks fancy.
You're making money. You're making moves. That's good.
Yeah, I know. I'm making moves now.
That's lovely. What do you miss about Jaffna?
Nothing, actually. See, my memory of Jaffna is kind of dark.
Okay.
Because everything that I saw was related to the war. Everything I saw was just, it was dark. There was no electricity. There was nothing that you could have.
Right.
But at that time, I didn't know anything better, so I thought life was great. Like, I never had ice cream. I never had ice water. I never had sausages. I'm talking about food.
Yeah.
I never had going to school was just like, you never know when you have to come back from school. You are given like a training on where to hide if there's a bomb attack. It was just normal. But when I came here, there was nothing that was holding me back to go back to Jaffna. Like,
Right.
oh, that's where I belong. I never had that sense of belonging there. I think it would have been so if Dada has lived a little longer and we have lived there for a longer time. Because soon after Dada passed, I was going to be 8. We moved to Colombo. So I don't think my life sort of really settled in here. So I don't miss much.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes, one sister.
You guys in touch?
I sort of live in the same house with her. Like the biggest fungus in her life that never leaves. So I got myself a new house.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thanks,
Yeah.
but it's still there. Like I haven't moved in. I furnished it. I took pictures and everything.
Yeah.
Every day I think I should so go there today. Like every time I fight with her, I'm like, I I should so go there today. But I'm like, oh my God, the made coffee sounds nice. She spoils me.
Yeah.
She's elder to me.
Yeah.
And, we have a very close bond.
Yeah.
I don't know whether she'll agree with that, but we have a very close bond because mommy brought us up that way because
Right.
it was just the three of us. And we have gone through a mix of a lot of fun and great things. Like we lived in some strange houses. We had houses where there were no windows. We had houses where there was a pit in front of our house. Like the aroma was just amazing. Like we knew every time somebody ate a biryani or had a bad stomach because everything used to erupt in front of our house. So I used to always wonder why we got this. It's because that was the house with the cheaper rent.
Right.
Nobody wanted a house with a pit in front. All the other houses' pit was in front of us.
Wow.
I know. Some days going to school was hard because it's like a bubbling situation.
Oh God.
Yeah. So we lived in some strange houses. One house, I'm sure it was where they sold people for money.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I didn't know at that time that's how a condom looked.
Right.
I thought it was a hairband. Like genuinely, it was down a very narrow road. And again, we got that house for a very cheap price. Now I know why.
Yeah.
Mommy eventually was like, this is not going anywhere. Let's move. So we moved from that house. We have moved to multiple houses.
Yeah. Were you ever judged for where you lived?
Oh, yeah. Because I went to St. Peter's College. Although it's like, it's a good Catholic school, not everyone is the same apart from the uniform that we wear. So, when you open the lunchbox, when you take part in things, when you go on a trip, like you have people coming trips with their snacks and they're like, wow. Then you have me just going like looking like a wadi. And they're like, no coal.
Right.
And at that time, I remember those days, those would have been the biggest problem in my life. Saying no to a trip because mommy couldn't afford it and things like that. But looking at it today, I'm like, that's just nothing. Because only now you sort of sit back and think, how hard would have it been for mommy to say no to me and explain that to me without hurting me. I think how much she would have died every second of that time. So I now feel I could have been so much more understanding without crying or be like, but I was a child. I always think of it that way. Because mommy really went through a hard time. She was very young when Dada passed. She had to bring the two of us up. And it was a lot.
Do you think that you are now breaking something for future generations to come with your journey from Jaffna to Colombo through the different social, economic statuses that you've been through, and you finally, like you said, had just bought your own house and your own car? Do you think that you're kind of like being this inspiration to a generation that has a similar upbringing as you?
I hope I am. See,
I think you are.
even in Jaffna, we come from the highest caste that they were very proud of, the richest family. We had everything. Like I could say boo and I'll have somebody waiting there. Why did you say boo, sir? So, we had so many people working for us. Our houses were massive. Like when I say massive, I'm talking about like one house had 60 areas in it.
Wow.
Yeah, and they didn't build a toilet in that house. So, yeah, because at that time it was considered unhygienic to have the loo also inside.
So you had like an outhouse?
Yeah, so Dada built the toilets inside
Okay.
when he took over the house. And he used to say, if I had to piss, I need to get a bike. Because, come on, sometimes you really have a pee tight.
Yeah.
And by the time you run through those 60 areas, you have let it go. So, when I was born, of course, there were toilets inside. But we were talking about, like, these are huge families. But you know how Tamil families are. I can say this on record. My poor mother came with no dowry.
What does that mean?
Dowry.
Like a
Dowry is, like, you pay money. Like, girls' house have to pay money to a boy's house.
right in our culture. Yeah. So
I told you this one is so not Sri Lankan.
no, because like I understand the concept. So a dowry is when
Did you get a dowry?
I never did. No, I didn't get my Lambo.
Ask her.
My wife is Korean American.
I know. You can ask her. Give me some.
Yeah, give me some Lambos. I need a Lambo.
So there you go. So mommy didn't come with that. She came from a very normal family.
Yeah.
Dad, I really liked her. She was pretty,
Mm.
and he really wanted to married her. They had the cutest love story.
Mm.
They were so together, but fate. He passed so young. So my father's family just like, "Oh, what are those two kids? Who? We forgot.
Mm-hmm. Is it true in, if I'm not mistaken, in Tamil culture that if the direct son or daughter passes away of that family, that the estate goes to that entire family as opposed to the immediate family?
The taste of Alamaro, right? I really don't know how that works.
Mm.
All what I know that whatever that my father was supposed to get, we didn't get.
Kind of answers my question, right? Yeah, that's interesting because again, but it's a cultural thing, right? It's not like it's
Yeah.
anything wrong. It's not like it's anything bad.
No, I don't know about that, but I
Yeah.
also just think we're all humans.
Yeah.
They should have. I just feel like mommy could have been given a bigger support system, not because I feel sorry for her. It's
Mhm.
more like she was married to your son. She was
Mhm.
married into this family. She has 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
This is the life she knows,
Yeah.
and you need to help her. But mommy had it the hard way. She was a teacher. She went back to teaching. But I'm ever so grateful. Mommy brought us up knowing what is reality and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather have it that way than any other way.
Fair enough. What do you envision future of Colombo sphere of entertainment looking like? What do you hope comes about? Like, are we getting a Real Housewives of Sri Lanka? Do we want that?
One's a really shy man. Oh, terrible. Can't even get people on the show. Because number one, sometimes I'm telling you, you have the type who are happy to say, I'm wearing,
Mm-hmm.
this is no Gucci Poochie. But some really want to say it's Gucci Poochie.
Right.
So then that's one thing.
Mm.
Like, how many people tell the truth here?
Mm.
So that's a bit tough. Somebody should come under Desperate Housewife. They will never even say that they're desperate even if they are. So then how are we going to do Desperate Housewives? We
That's-
might do like happy wives, because saying housewives is also not a nice thing. So Colombo is a hard place to be,
Yeah.
in terms of entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of covering, right?
Yeah,
'Cause-
I just want to sometimes I really want to say things I know, but can't. See, no, they have really tried hard to cover it. I am like, here, please, I know what you're talking about. One day I want to write a tell-all book and die. I need to seek asylum. Publish only when you have made sure I'm dead. Not even if you think I'm dead. Made sure. See me being cremated, then publish it. Because otherwise, my gosh, they'll take my dead body and dance over. I know some more things, man. Not that I want to know. I come to know, like people forward emails and all to me. I think because they want me to like trash them.
Yeah.
So, I don't care who is sleeping with who.
Has being gay ever stopped you from doing something that you wanted to do?
No, it's not that I wanted to be gay.
I mean, have you ever faced like backlash for
Of
being who
course.
you are?
Hello. Have you read my comments? Ponnek, Tadi Ponnek, Anek Kata Ponnek, Maha Ponnek. What can I do?
Like still to this day.
Yes. And I'm like, what can I do? I don't want to be a Ponya, but I was like, it's like I never wanted to be tall.
Yeah.
I was made tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I didn't want to be this beautiful. I was made beautiful. Like, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
these are problems. Like, can Aishwarya be blamed for being pretty?
Good point.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just like that. So telling you the honest truth, I have actually thought about this.
Mm.
There have been days that I've actually prayed to the Lord. I'm like, Lord, listen, if I could wake up straight tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'm not those ones who's holding a placard saying, fight for me.
Mm.
If I could turn straight tomorrow, I'll be the happiest. Because I want to live my life happily with someone.
Mm.
Have children, go out together. I don't want this miserable life where you are judged, where you're called names, where you're always isolated, where you can never find someone. It's so hard. It's always a taboo conversation to talk about. Why the hell do I need all of this drama? For what reason? Everyone wants to be happy. If I could find someone in any form or shape, I'll be the first to take it. If that means I have to be straight, I'll be the happiest. But But what can I do? I also don't want to live a pretentious life where I not only ruin my life, some poor woman's life, and then put a child in the middle of all of this. And the child will grow up to know that the father was banging some other man in the side.
That's a detailed breakdown, and I fully agree that
Like,
being yourself is important. Has it lessened over the years when you came out, or did people always know?
I never knew this whole coming out process and all.
Okay, tell me
A lot
about
of things I don't know, man. I also do, like, I have a very bad, like, you know, my jig life is really sad.
What's a jig life?
Like, sex.
Did you say it like that? So your sex life, yeah.
It's really sad, okay? Like, people think I'm like some hoe walking around. That's just my mouth. I talk and talk like as if I have done it all.
Yeah.
In reality, I'm telling you, my body count is just like one hand still. That's including this hand. Truth be told, I am very scared.
Yeah.
Like, even if I really like someone,
Yeah.
I'm very scared. Then, and you can't, like, sometimes I'm very confused whether they are like, there's something called the gay radar. I think mine is broken, or it was never installed on me, because I'm forever shouting at a wall. So it's just not working. And I don't know, it's just that it's hard being gay.
Do you want to get married
To
another man?
I would more than a marriage. I really would like a partnership. For me, it's mostly about conversation, having big Christmases, having a place to celebrate life.
I love that.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. It can even be with a cow. I'm happy with a cow as well. You know, cows are really cute. But
I think there's a law against that one.
sorry. No. I don't want to do things with the cow. Not with the cow.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you know, I
Yeah.
want that companionship, and that's what matters the
I
most.
got you.
But you know, Sri Lanka also, you know, there are a lot of people who find partners, but somebody like me who is out there, they're worried. Like, if I stand next to you for 4 days,
Okay.
they will think that you and I are, you know, I'm holding on to your hair.
Right.
Good grip. But
It's a judgment, right? It's like they're quick to judge in society.
correct. So then, a lot of people don't want that label on them,
Right.
even if they are.
Right.
I don't want this label. Like, it's a huge problem, man.
Do you think it's, yeah, I mean, and let me know if I'm diving too deep on this one at
We have
all.
gone really deep.
Okay.
Okay, tell me.
We can stay away from it. But
No,
I was just going to say, I like that you can openly talk about it.
It took a long time.
Yeah. That switch.
Because I have lost everything that I have to lose because of this. Like, my father's family does not talk to me. I'm like an
Really?
embarrassment in their life.
Wow.
But my mom's family is cool. I think they had no choice. I was too beautiful and too sweet to say no to. No. They were like, ayo, babayak. But there's an aunt of mine who is very supportive. And, you know, I personally feel, because I'm also a Roman Catholic, I was brought up as a Catholic, it's told that it's a sin. So I actually asked this priest, I went to do a confession, and I said, this Lord who I pray to every day, and I say thank you for all the blessings I've got in my life, the presence of Him that has been in my life. You know, I'm not somebody who runs to church every day, but I'll never deny that I'm grateful and blessed for some of the most amazing things that have happened in my life. I could have easily been somebody who was caught in the war, stayed in the north, lost all the opportunities, struggled through life.
Yeah.
But my mom found a way to bring us here. He gave me the strength to do things that I can do, and for me to sit here and talk. So I'll be a fool if I think I did it all by myself.
Absolutely.
I had a great mom, I had great support system. So I'm happy about that. Like, sometimes you don't need money, you just need somebody to say, yeah, do it. And that's what mommy was. If I told her I wanted to be a pole dancer, I'm sure she would have bought me a pole.
Most people would kind of push away from religion because religion is I would say, number one thing that persecutes people that choose or have this type of lifestyle.
Correct. So I actually went to a priest
Okay.
for a confession. Have you ever done a confession?
Yeah. My mom's a Catholic and my
okay.
dad's a Jehovah's Witness family. But yeah.
So So my last confession before that was when I was doing my confirmation.
Oh, cool.
So I was like, oh, there's a process to do it. And I went to the priest and I said, listen, I have forgotten the process. He was like, that's okay, just tell me. So I told him, I said, I'm attracted to not the opposite sex. And I'm really confused if it's a sin. You know what he told me? He said, how would I know? He said, even I don't know. End of the day, we are all humans. He said, as long as you're being a good person, that's all that matters. Who you want to fall in love with, none of that will define how you are as a human being. If I'm a murderer or a rapist and I'm still straight, does that make me any better than me being gay? So he really gave me a perspective that I was so grateful about. And he said, just be true to that person who you find in life and just be a good person. And I told him, the one behind me is my sister. Can you tell her the same thing? Because for her, it was a lot to deal with because mommy had passed and she felt like she was the one who was taking control and like being the leader of the family. And she felt like whether it's her guidance or whether she was there for me enough. I was like, no, Akka, it's not your fault. And I know if she found it very hard to like not accept it, but deal with the rumors of people calling me stuff. And like there was a time when she told me, like when she was working in this bank, there was a picture on the papers with me and these two Miss Sri Lankas, and I was holding them. The picture was like a blown out photo. It was a bit a bigger one. And these two guys came and said, "Me wagi phone unta me wagi devala hambu wenne," and they forgot that my sister was just there. And you know, those things really hurt her because for her, I'm her brother first. You know, so. But I think now she has come to terms with it, and she is strong enough to. And also, mostly when they write to me in Sinhalese and say things like this, I can't understand because I can't read Sinhalese. So I'm like, and when you translate it, it's so much more kinder. So you're like, it's like, have you ever like scolded somebody in Sinhalese? Like, paraburwa? But say that in like, you stupid donkey. Like, isn't it like a compliment in English? It's like when the British reads news. Like when
it sounds sophisticated.
No, it's like they could report, let's say in Sinhalese, if I say, "Hatara denek ada bus accident එකකින් නැති වෙලා. වැඩි විස්තර දැනගන්න අපිත් එක්ක එකතු වන්න." Right? Same thing in English. 4 people have unfortunately passed away in a bus accident. More details will follow after this. Don't you feel like the people who died are also like made to feel special? The British say
That's a fair point.
They say it so much more kind. I think they say it so like harsh.
That's true. That is true. There's an energy to it for sure.
It's always nice when you speak with the accent.
Yes. The Brits really have that going for them.
4 people have died. Oh, just 4. But it's hotter than නැති වෙලා.
Jesus. Oh, this is good. I really. Dude, Danu, like this podcast has been, I think, as entertaining
Am
and
I done?
fulfilling. Yeah, we don't have to unless you don't want to wrap.
I can talk. I'm free.
Okay, let's. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. You tell me. Don't you have more questions?
No, I was just like winging it as we went because like you.
So you didn't do any prep?
No, nothing.
What the
whatsoever.
hell?
I know. No, because we're like, do you know when we met?
Yeah.
For the first time ever.
Happy Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And I love that video.
Thank you. This is where you're good at what you do. Yeah, that was my first like viral video.
At that time, it was not like it was like a small viral.
Yeah,
it was a big viral at that.
Yeah, at that time, like 10,000 views is a big deal. 20,000, 70,000.
Because you paid a higher bill for internet.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, man, dude, thank you for remembering that. That's cool that you remember.
I don't forget things.
Yeah, you don't. That's what's special about you, man. Like I think more people like that in our society can learn a thing or two.
Yeah, I've always loved your work.
Thank you.
Yeah, like you shot things and made them look pretty.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I hope it'll be the same here. Here's a realistic version of Danu. You have no more questions to ask me? Can I ask you, like, how can I be casted in something in the US? Can you like send my portfolio and like get me a role? I want to be, I will tell you something. I believe like, manifesting things. I have tried it. People have told me, put it out of the universe, put it out of the... People are putting fart sauce out to the universe. Nothing is happening. So later on, I've always thought Priyanka Chopra is like fabulous.
Yeah.
Not for anything. It's just that, she's cool. She doesn't care. She's doing her thing. I also want to be the first Sri Lankan. You have ruined it for me, but
Yeah.
you have not been on screen. No?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be off screen, okay?
Okay, I'll say.
I want to be the first Sri Lankan who
Yeah.
goes there and does something
Yeah.
like out there. and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think
Like
you should.
I want to do like Ellen, like she's jobless. What's happening to her slot? I want to do that show.
I'm not sure. I think Drew Barrymore kind of took that slot. But here's what I think. I think we don't need to. Sri Lanka's at such a unique position.
I want to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like when you book me for a podcast next
Yeah.
time, I'm like, okay, Jason, I've been LA today, but I'm landing day after. I can meet you between 5 and 6. Then I'm off to like China. Like I want that. Like I want to say it, but right now all what I'm saying is I'm in Vellavatta today. I'll be in Piliandala tomorrow, but can I meet you somewhere in like Kolpiti? It sounds really like.
But here's what I like about that dream: the specifics. If you don't dream specifics,
Yes,
you can't create it.
correct.
I love that.
I also don't want to travel in a private jet.
Yeah.
There's a reason why. I'll die alone. Like nobody is there to video it. I want a survivor to show that I struggled before I died. I'll tell you this story. I was traveling with the tourist board before, and Hareen, Sanat, they were all part of the same thing that we're going to India. And we had an internal flight between 2 states in India. And when we took off on one of their flights, there was like a... And Sanat, although he's such a legend in cricket, he's a real softie and he's scared of all these flight things. Then I could see him like... And like Harin is not even bothered. He's just like, okay, I know this will land safe. But at one point, we were like... It was really scary. And then I told Harin, I don't want to die today. He said, why? Because I'm sharing the newspaper space with you and Sanat. It's going to be Sanat Saha Harin, other Nathuna. A Samaga Hitia Danu. Don't you get it?
I do.
I want it to be
Yeah.
Danu other Nathuna. A Samaga Hitia Tunzi Asubak.
Oh man. Oh, that's a specific.
So I told him I don't want to die today.
Yeah.
And if they're planning on landing that plane, not say, I'm like, please, I need to survive. At least then they'll be like, Mitchell, then Nathi unata Danu.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thanks.
That's a very specific dream. And I really like. That's honestly, Danu. I feel like you've cracked that. Watching your life from what you were saying, from starting in the bus, going to the tuk, getting into a taxi, and then finally being able to afford your own car, and then now afford your own house. Was that also a specific
Please
dream?
note, the house is on a loan. Till I'm 55, I'll be paying for it.
That's completely fine. I still think it's like it doesn't matter how you get there. It's like if you get there, right?
That's true.
So
I have so I was never the smart one. No, I told you I failed maths.
no, you didn't tell me. You
Really?
failed.
So I did my O-levels. Everyone, like Tamil medium class, they're always very smart. Jaffna boys are very smart. Something is not right with me. I just couldn't do maths.
Yeah.
I failed it miserably. But I passed the others. Like I got 2 A's, 4 C's, 1 S and an F. They didn't say F. They didn't want to say fail, so they said weak.
Weak.
That means you're failed.
What'd you fail at?
Maths.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so maths was weak.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I did it again, but in the meantime I started to work because I knew that part of my brain is never going to develop. It was long gone. Then at one point I wanted to study. I had nothing to show as what I had my birth certificate, and then I have a gap.
Yeah.
And I have an O-level certificate which has a fail. Then I have a gap again. So I was really lacking on things that I can show in terms of education. I had like best dancer, singing competition first.
You can dance?
I had rhythm.
Like what type of dance?
I did Bharatanatyam.
You did Bharatanatyam? Dude, that's a good skill.
Thanks.
Yeah. Bharatanatyam is like that's
Not like
amazing.
professionally where I like learned everything and did Arangetam.
Right.
But I kind of learned it.
Nice.
Yeah, I was, well, I still have the rhythm, but a lot of other things move while I move. So I don't think that's what you need in Bharatanatyam. You need a very firm body, and only your moves should be seen, not when you move one and the others are moving unwantedly.
Have you seen Hasna? I can't remember her last name, Hasna, but then there's this French Sri Lankan dancer that took mixed Bharatanatyam dance with hip hop. You ever seen those clips, the content?
Yeah, like Michael Jackson did it in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was her inspiration. What was her name? Usha J. Yeah, Usha J was one, and then there's another girl, Hasna. Hasna So yeah, she was also Tamil. And like they're shaping what.
Is this a prop?
Oh my god, that's never happened before. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's never happened before. Why is it stuck? Oh, that's magic. That was interesting.
This coffee tastes more crap now. Yeah, so then I wanted to study at one point. So I somehow studied and finished up to my master's when I was 29.
Mm-hmm.
It was not easy,
Yeah.
and I didn't pass very well.
Yeah.
I always latched onto the smart ones and acted smart.
Yeah.
I did the presentation and got full marks for it.
Nice.
But they did the presentation because I always threw the I'm so busy shooting card. And it worked.
Well, I also think there's a way of like working smart, and then there's intelligence, and then there's also working smart. And I think what
yeah.
you were doing was smart, and your friends were intelligent.
Intelligent. That is true. That is true. That is
Yeah.
true. I kind of used them. They were the smartest out of the lot.
Fair enough.
Like they were fighting for 99 and 100. I was happy with 51.
Yeah.
That means we are passed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, Danu, what do you plan? Where do you see? Okay, I know you've shared with me your personal journey and like where you've come. Where do you see yourself in your shows and I would say commercial shows that you're producing? Where do you see that in the future?
So can I tell you my real dream?
Yes.
I want somebody to take over me. That sounds really bad.
Yeah.
like I need like a manager
Mm-hmm.
who will take me as a product
Mm-hmm.
and sell the living daylights out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And he will call you and say he's in Milan today, but he'll be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That, or she, whoever.
Yes.
I just feel like I have done all of this like by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I really want somebody to see my fullest potential
Yeah.
and give me, because I'm still so hungry to do a lot of things. It's not because I love being on TV. It's just I love doing what I do,
Right.
and that is TV or radio or entertainment or being on stage, whatever. I've always loved to connect with people. I've always liked to make them smile or just have a better day.
Yeah.
And I really want to do more of it.
Mm.
So I just need somebody who will manage me, and because I feel like then I'm terrible with numbers. So I know my weaknesses.
Yeah.
And if there is somebody to do more with me, I think I could do so much more.
Yeah.
And I think I'll be happier as well. I think work keeps me happy
Mm.
because there's nothing else, as you would say. Love is just dry. So this is what keeps me going. And I really like it because I love to dress up. I get to dress. Yeah, that's the only thing.
That's beautiful. But I really do think like what you're doing and what you're canvassing is the next step. There is more to come, and I'm very excited of what you're
You
doing.
don't like to manage me, don't market me.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not a manager. I'm like I also have a business partner that runs like the finance side. I
You
think
also like me.
Yeah, like I'm very focused on the creative component.
no,
I
no,
do run like parts of the finance. Like to be honest, here's the thing. In Sri Lanka, you are taught to handle all sides of production.
And it's hard.
It's very hard. But when you go to the global market, you are far more experienced than they are because you have studied all sides of what makes this table turn.
Yeah.
And that's our competitive edge because you have to. You have no choice.
That
And
is true.
obviously the experience that you've gone through, like if you were to enter, like I said, like the Indian market in some way or in our close neighbors market, you would definitely you are far more talented and you would definitely be far ahead with them in terms of production. So I do think there there is a gold mine waiting to happen, and I think Sri Lanka together, and this can only be done together. In my experience,
Of
Danu,
course.
it's like it's very hard for us to
Ever
okay.
think we can do it alone?
100%. And that's why that competitive competition is nice. I think you can contend with one another, but it to uplift the industry. But it's also from a place of like, haha, I got you today, this week, buddy. Next week, you're going to get me. It's that type
Yeah.
of camaraderie that I think needs to be there a little bit more.
I have always, I have had, when I was doing the radio show, like the morning show,
Yeah.
on my column, or it could be on the TV shows, I've had all the other morning show hosts.
Yeah.
Like up to date, I've had talk show hosts to come on my show. The reason is, just because I cripple you, it
Yeah.
doesn't mean I'm going to get your people to follow me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll be like, no.
Yeah.
They like you for a reason.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean just because you're not there, they're going to like me.
Absolutely.
So I just feel like altogether, it's so much more fun and so
Mhm.
much more nicer, and it's cooler.
Yeah.
So that's what I hope to do. But here's a little exclusive I could tell you. I'm releasing my book.
Yes. The book that you want people to wait till you're dead?
Oh, no. That is... This is actually a book called Jaffna Boy, Columba Diva.
Amazing.
It's out on the 20th of May. It's on my mum's birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. Are you here?
I will be back. Yes.
Amazing.
I will
So
be
you're
back.
invited.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
that invite.
No, by the way, when you come, you have to buy a book. That's
Right.
why I want people to come.
Right. Totally. How much
Because
is the
I'm
book?
feeding you all. And
Yeah.
I need to get the money back.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, like, congratulations.
All
man.
of you are invited, by the way.
You
As
all
long
have
as-
to buy a book.
Don't bring one book, leave it here, and let everyone read it.
Yeah. Exactly. We buy multiple. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Is this an autobiography of
No.
you or?
Little thanks. Can we show the brand?
I'm not sure.
No. Because
Well, hopefully, if
we'll
Pelican.
we'll hide it.
Yeah.
They're not paying you, no?
No. Nobody's
No
paying. Yeah. But we should definitely look at getting a sponsor for your show, for you to do something.
Thanks.
Yeah, we should definitely.
Because
do
I
that.
really like how you produce things, and you'll make me look beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
so-
more fun. I think there's more than pumping in like big sets. I think it's just the energy and the atmosphere, right? I love when these guys like interact with us on a set. It's great. I feel good that we're all kind of doing it together,
Yeah.
which is important. And I think, dude, you with a live audience, it'll be hilarious.
I've always wanted to do stand-up.
Yeah.
I just need to put it together and go out there.
Yeah.
I did it twice, and I really liked it.
Nice. Have you met Sashi Pierce?
Oh my God, I was shooting with her today.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, she came for Goldit Fest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
Yeah.
We really hit it off. I asked her, "Do you think I'm funny?" And she was
Yeah.
like, I think so. And I said, "Now you're not my friend." Just wanted her to say that I was funny, but she's amazing.
She is funny.
I loved her.
She was in that show. She co-wrote the series with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, she's brilliant. I
Yeah.
loved her. I just met her like an hour before I saw you.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, this is awesome. This is definitely happening then.
That is true.
Yeah, this is definitely happening. Danu should definitely be in the show. Like this now it's like full confirmation. Let's just hope for God that this gets picked up.
By whom?
We're trying to sell it to a network. There's a specific network that's coming out. So we'll see if they buy the pilot, then we can actually shoot the whole thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Please
But
don't cast any more people.
No, we're not.
Good.
Because there's plenty of spaces and characters. And if this gets picked up, we have to reshoot the pilot because you have to shoot it according to the standard.
I know. Like me.
Right. Right. Should we wrap this up?
Yeah, I
Should we
think
wrap it?
now
Okay.
it's done. Like
So-
I'm also done with you. I have a dinner to go at 7.
Well, thank you so much for being here. You've been a close friend since my career, genesis of my career in Sri Lanka. And it's great to see that you have skyrocketed in your field as well. And it's just awesome to just connect.
I've always been very proud of you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate
So-
it. Oh, wait. How do people find you?
I am on Instagram.
Yes.
I'm on.
What's your Instagram
Twitter.
handle?
It's very creative. It's Danu in Nasitambi.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
If you want to see more of Danu's skin, follow him on Instagram and also on his other social networks. Thanks, man. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
everybody.
much.